You see it?
What are you seeing?
You didn't see it?
No, what was it?
It was some kind of a figure over there on the ridge.
We have some team members in that area right now. What else do you know about it?
This is it, man.
It doesn't look like bear. This is something large, strong. Looks like some kind of a marker, man.
Mireya Mayer and her friend Ronnie were exploring the glacier when they noticed something unusual. A giant claw mark high on the icy wall, far too high for any bear. Earlier, they had seen a dark figure move quickly behind a ridge, sending a chill down their spines. What massive beast could be roaming these frozen lands? Let us uncover the mystery of what lurks in the depths of darkness. Exposing the glacier's mysteries. A figure disappearing behind the ridge caught their eye. Unsure of what it was, they recalled seeing something earlier near an old weathered drum. The figure appeared again, stood up for a moment, then crouched down, suggesting it wasn't just a typical animal. Curious, they decided it would be smart to check the glacier next, as its icy cracks could be good hiding spots. As the cold wind brushed against their face, deepening the eerie silence of the glacier, they couldn't shake off the feeling that someone was watching them. Mireya Mayer and her team, including Ronnie, spent hours trekking through the icy wilderness, following tracks of a large creature that had made a kill the night before. Despite the creature's size, it vanished without a trace. Eventually, Mireya noticed a faint trail leading to the water marked by a large claw mark about 8 feet high on the ice, too high for a bear, indicating something much larger. The lack of other scratch marks made it even more mysterious, suggesting the claw mark might have been a deliberate sign, possibly guiding them to a nearby water source or hunting ground.
Oh, wow, look at this.
This is right below where I saw it.
The path ahead became rocky and challenging, but the team was determined to find more evidence of the elusive creature. As they climbed higher, the cold intensified. Mireya, shivering, observed that any animal living there would need thick fur to survive such freezing temperatures. It was hard to imagine any creature, especially a large one, calling a glacier home, but perhaps it was just a hiding spot or a pathway for something bigger. Russell, drawing on his childhood experiences of hunting in snowy areas, noted how difficult it was to track animals in such conditions. Even bears with padded feet were tough to track in the snow and ice. They continued, keeping a close eye on their surroundings for any signs of the creature. Russell suggested they stay close to the water near a stream, as most animals, including possibly Bigfoot, would likely do the same. Their search led them to a large cave which could provide shelter from the harsh conditions outside. Mireya, excited but cautious, noted that if Bigfoot were real, this cave might be its hiding spot. The entrance narrowed as they entered the cave, and Russell warned the team to be careful. Mireya spotted a narrow trail where something must have moved through. The glacier's constant shifting had created the cave, which could stretch for miles. Although they didn't know how stable it was, it seemed like the best place for the creature to hide. Inside, they discovered a stream, which was significant. In such harsh conditions, finding water meant that any creature could survive there. The cave offered shelter and a way out, with the flowing water masking any sounds and washing away tracks, making it an ideal hiding place for the mysterious creature.
You seeing anything, Russ?
Mireya, I'm not seeing anything on the...
We dive deeper into the wild, where every step reveals more. The search for Bigfoot. The team continued their journey, amazed as the landscape opened up around them. They believed the creature they were tracking had moved deeper into the cave, toward more remote and wild areas. The space felt vast, as big as 3 Texases put together. Finding anything in such a huge area seemed almost impossible, but they hoped to keep up with the creature before it got too far ahead. As they faced challenges, the team regrouped to discuss their next steps and whether their plan was still a good one. They thought about making a call for more information to help guide their search. Despite their careful watch, they saw no movement. The thick forest ahead made them think their chances were fading, so they considered checking the area again. Although they didn't find anything, the expedition was a fascinating journey of learning. Every attempt, mistake, and challenge taught them valuable lessons, making them better prepared for future searches. While there were no discoveries today, it was an important part of their ongoing quest. The team gained strength and wisdom from the experience, deepening their understanding of the unknown. After the others left, one team member stayed behind to review the data they had collected, including sounds recorded by high-tech microphones. These devices mostly picked up noises from birds and other wildlife. While sorting through the ordinary sounds, a low rumbling noise stood out, possibly pointing to the presence of Bigfoot. Moments like these kept their search for hidden secrets in the natural world alive. The surprising findings led the team to continue their exploration. They headed to Prince of Wales Island, driven by the recent discoveries and the hope of uncovering more evidence. Feeling close to a major breakthrough, they were drawn to Alaska's wild, unexplored landscapes, which seemed ideal for finding signs of Bigfoot. This remote area, supported by local stories and sightings, was difficult to navigate but held the promise of revealing the mysteries surrounding Bigfoot. Local legends and Native American tales suggested that this region might even be home to a family of these elusive creatures. The woods seemed to hold secrets as the team pressed on. Whispers in the wilderness. The team is currently stationed in the area where a group of school kids camping during a stormy night reported large rocks being thrown from the trees. It seems something or someone doesn't want visitors. Stories of mysterious beings in the woods aren't new. Legends like the Chobot from Tlingit folklore or the famous Bigfoot have always intrigued and warned those who venture into remote places. The Chobot, for instance, is said to change shapes, sometimes imitating human cries or turning into an otter.
Bigfoot has claws. I spoke with a witness who told me he heard something outside his camp.
Depending on the tale, these beings might either harm the unwary or assist those who are lost. Similarly, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a well-known figure in North American folklore. Many claim to have seen or encountered this elusive creature, especially after the controversial Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967, which supposedly captured a Bigfoot on camera. Despite ongoing debates about the film's authenticity, it remains one of the most closely examined pieces of evidence supporting Bigfoot's existence. Shape-shifting appears in many cultures worldwide, symbolizing change and adaptability in human life. These stories often carry a warning. Be cautious if you encounter an unfamiliar figure in the woods. Trust your instincts if something feels off. It could be a sign of danger. These tales, whether about Bigfoot or other shapeshifters, remind us of the mysteries and dangers that lurk in the wild. They encourage respect for nature and caution when facing the unknown. Hearing unusual noises in the woods can trigger both curiosity and nervousness. Nocturnal animals like foxes with their high-pitched screams or coyotes with their yips and howls can sound unsettling, especially during their active times. Understanding these sounds can reduce fear and help you appreciate the wildlife that emerges at night. In Alaska's unpredictable weather, tracking efforts become more challenging, especially after a tracking device fails. Signs like overturned leaves hint at recent movement, and the team wisely decides to carry only essential equipment like thermal imaging tools and lights. In the freezing conditions, where thick snow covers the ground, any movement should be easy to detect. Thermal imaging proves helpful in spotting signs of life. However, the discovery of a fresh with dark blood staining the snow and ribs protruding highlights the harsh realities of the wilderness and the dangers that may be lurking. Morning light will reveal new truths and challenges in the wild. In pursuit of the elusive Bigfoot. In the remote, frost-bitten wilderness, a team of researchers and adventurers find themselves piecing together a puzzle that grows increasingly enigmatic with each step they take. Their journey begins with a chilling discovery: a large animal bone snapped cleanly in two. The nature of the break suggests an extraordinary force, not typical of the skirmishes that local wildlife, like bears or wolves, might leave behind. Earlier in their expedition, the group had bolstered their suspicions of something unusual. Bryce, an experienced drone operator, managed to capture thermal images that hinted at the presence of a large, heat-emitting creature moving through the forest under the cover of night. This footage was the first indication that they might be dealing with a creature not cataloged by modern science. Perhaps they dared to think even Bigfoot. As the group delves deeper into the wilderness, the air grows colder and the terrain more challenging. Wide open ice field where the forest river spills into a frozen expanse.
Of the same kind would recognize this is where water is.
Here the snow lies undisturbed, an expansive white blanket without a single mark. It's as if the creature or whatever had moved through earlier had vanished without a trace. The absence of any footprints in such pristine snow puzzles the team. Nature itself seems to be guarding its secrets closely. Despite the lack of physical tracks, the team's resolve doesn't falter. The drone's thermal evidence can't be ignored. It had clearly shown something significant had recently traversed this area. Compelled by the mystery, they press on towards the dense tree line that marks the edge of the ice field, driven by a mix of determination and the allure of the unknown. Upon nearing the tree line, one of the team spots something, an anomaly on the horizon, a fleeting shadow against the stark white of the snow. The figure is distant and indistinct, but its movements suggest something bipedal, an unusual sight so far from any known habitats of humanoid creatures. The sighting rekindles the group's excitement. This could indeed be the creature linked to the legends of Bigfoot. Discussing their next move, they consider the glacier's geography. With its myriad crevices and icy caverns, it's the perfect environment for something desiring secrecy. The group theorizes that if the creature uses the glacier as a refuge or a transit route, it could explain the sudden appearances and disappearances chronicled in local folklore. Moving with renewed urgency, they approach a water source near the glacier's edge, hoping it might attract the creature. Proximity to water is a fundamental survival tactic for wildlife, and it might just apply to their elusive quarry as well. Their search leads them to a cave entrance partially obscured by fallen snow and ice. The discovery of the cave offers tantalizing possibilities. It could serve as a seasonal shelter or a permanent den for a creature like Bigfoot, if it exists. The cave's location, deep within the glacier and away from typical animal paths, supports the theory that they are on the trail of an extraordinary creature. The team decides to explore further, each step taking them deeper into the heart of the icy wilderness, each discovery fueling their quest for answers in this vast frozen land. Deeper into the glacier, every clue leads us further. The ice cave's hidden depths. As they ventured into the cave, the passage began to narrow, forcing them to move in single file. The cave, part of an ever-shifting glacier, could stretch on for miles, its true extent and stability a mystery. Near a small pool, they searched for any signs of life, thinking the cave might offer both shelter and a potential escape route. The sound of running water could conceal noises and wash away any tracks they might leave behind. Their search on the sandbar revealed nothing, but they couldn't afford to stop. The cave expanded further ahead, suggesting that whatever they pursued was moving deeper into the glacier. Determined, they pushed forward, refusing to turn back. Their journey south took them through dark, unknown regions and across vast, forbidding mountains. Time was against them as they pressed on, hoping to reach their goal before the creature they hunted slipped away. The task seemed almost impossible, tracking a creature on foot across such an enormous, desolate landscape. They knew that once they left the open, snow-covered fields and entered the dense forest ahead, their chances of finding the creature would diminish. The snow offered a bright, white canvas where even the slightest movement would be noticeable. Yet despite their vigilant search, they found nothing. The landscape remained eerily still with no signs of life, just an overwhelming silence. Disappointment settled in as they neared the edge of the forest. The vast, white expanse behind them had yielded no clues, and now the dark forest loomed ahead, promising even greater challenges. Their frustration grew as the reality of their fruitless search became clear. The empty, untouched landscape offered no evidence of the creature they sought. Despite the mounting frustration and the feeling of failure, they reminded themselves of the bigger picture. The pursuit of knowledge often involved more failure than success. Every mistake, every wrong turn taught them something valuable. Science was not about instant success, but about persistence, learning from failures, and pushing forward despite setbacks. As they prepared to leave the area, their resolve only deepened. They were not leaving empty-handed. They carried with them the lessons learned, the knowledge gained from this challenging journey. Each step brought them closer to understanding, each failure a stepping stone toward eventual success. The snowy field behind them faded from view as they moved forward, more determined than ever, knowing that each challenge they faced only brought them closer to their goal. What do you think they could have done differently? Like, comment your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more.